The sexual abuse claims against the Boy Scouts in California now coming to light as the bankruptcy committee representing the interests of survivors is revealing at least 9,346 claims are within the state, which includes 385 claims against the San Diego Imperial Council. And we're joined by attorney Spencer Lucas, who is part of Panish, Shea and Boyle, an LA law firm that represents 234 claimants. And Spencer, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So what is the core of your disagreement with how the Boy Scouts is handling this bankruptcy and the payment to those who have been victimized?
So this truly is a shocking development, and it's really a slap in the face to all of the survivors countrywide that have been victimized at the hands of the Boy Scouts. What they have proposed is for these 85,000 claimants of abuse, if you do the math, on average, it's only about $6,000 per claimant. And that is just an absurdly low amount. But to make matters worse and to add insult to injury, the Boy Scouts are trying to get immunity not only for themselves, but also for their local councils. And what we know is that the local councils have even more assets and more available insurance than even the Boy Scouts of America. But in this plan that's been submitted to the bankruptcy court, the Boy Scouts have concealed all of the important financial information that we need to analyze the settlement, the proposed deal. And it's absolutely egregious, this low amount. Because if you look at the tax filings, even from 2018, we know that in California, the local councils disclosed at least $253 million. Now, that's way less than what they actually have. But we deserve transparency, and the survivors of this abuse deserve a full accounting. And we're not going to let this slide. They need a full financial disclosure so that all of these claimants can look at the proposal in the light of day.
You say that the clients would only get about $6,000 each out of this settlement. What is it that you're after? What percentage of the value of the Boy Scouts needs to go to these victims?
Well, to start off with, we need to know what we're dealing with. In any bankruptcy proceeding, the court has to look at the available assets versus the liabilities. And in this case, we know what the liabilities are. All of the claimants have submitted their claim forms so that they can be evaluated. But the Boy Scouts and the local councils are hiding the ball, and they're concealing the information, and they have utterly failed to show the court and to show the claimants what their financial picture is. So before we can even begin this discussion of what a full and fair settlement would be, we need to know what the full financials are for the Boy Scouts of America and the local councils.
Is your goal to have a long-term settlement that ends with the Boy Scouts still a viable organization, or might they get hit so hard by the settlement that they could literally disappear?
Well, look, right now we're not optimistic. And what we know is from this proposal, it's so woefully inadequate that it's clear the Boy Scouts are not operating in good faith. And I'm not optimistic that the Boy Scouts are going to survive, especially if they keep up these tactics of concealment. The court will demand complete transparency, and we hope that the Boy Scouts do the right thing. After years and years of cover-ups and systematic abuse, these survivors deserve transparency, no more concealment.
Aside from the numbers that we're talking about, what about the emotional and psychological effects that are being experienced by your clients?
Well, as I mentioned, when the Boy Scouts came out with this proposal, it was just adding insult to injury. These survivors have been through enough, and reliving this experience is so hard for them. And it's just absolutely unbelievable that the Boy Scouts would come up with this plan that is so low. It's really hurtful, and they need to step up and do the right thing and get their assets in order and get their insurance in order and put everything on the table and stop putting everything at the doorstep of these survivors.
Attorney Spencer Lucas, of course, will be following the case as it moves forward, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you for having me.